in ensuring that Afghanistan does not once again become a safe haven for terrorists. It supports a comprehensive counterinsurgency strategy that is adequately resourced and funded by Congress based on identified needs to date, and calls on the President to provide our U.S. military commanders with the military forces they require in order to succeed. In Iraq, the committee ensures that the Congress will support the President's plan to redeploy combat forces while providing our commanders the flexibility to hold hard-fought security gains and ensure the safety of our forces. One of the toughest issues this committee has taken a leading role in, both in past years and in this bill, is detainee policy. Since 2005, this committee has developed legislation on detainee matters, sometimes in cooperation with the White House and sometimes over its strong objections, because it's critical to our national security and the preservation of our democratic principles. This bill makes changes to the Military Commissions Act of 2006. We have all, Senator Levin, Senator Graham, and others, worked closely together to address some of these difficult issues. Now, we haven't resolved all of the challenges that military commissions and other aspects of detainee policy present, but I believe we made substantial progress that will strengthen the military commission systems during appellate review, provide a careful balance between protection of national security and American values, and allow the trials to move forward with greater efficiency toward a just and fair result. The committee also had a healthy debate on the future of missile defense and our strategic deterrence capabilities. I welcome and share President Obama's aspirations, hope for a nuclear-free world. However, I believe we must also be prudent and practical in our reductions and remain vigilant about the global proliferation of advanced missile and nuclear technology. While recently much of our national defense posture supports combating terrorists, we cannot grow complacent to the danger that rogue nations like North Korea and Iran pose to us, whether it's missile launches within range of Hawaii or transferring weapons to Hezbollah or Hamas. We must strengthen our commitment to enforcing the Non-Proliferation Treaty and the existing inspections regime. We must lead an international effort to interdict and prevent the world's most dangerous weapons from getting into the hands of the world's worst actors. I know there are varying views on the future of missile defense and our long-term strategic force posture, and I look forward to those debates. The bipartisan nature of our committee allows for candid discussion, lively debate, and at times disagreement. In that spirit, there are some items in the bill that I do not support and were not in the President's budget request, such as continuation of the F-22 aircraft production line, funding for the Joint Strike Fighter alternate engine, and earmarks totaling approximately $6.4 billion. I was disappointed that in spite of a veto threat from the White House, our committee chose to add $1.75 billion for 7 F-22 aircraft and $439 million for an alternate engine for the Joint Strike Fighter. Neither the President nor the Pentagon asked for F-22s or the alternate engine in the budget review request, nor were they part of the service's unfunded priority list. Secretary Gates has consistently opposed the need for additional F-22 aircraft and has indicated on a number of occasions that additional F-22 aircraft are not required to meet potential threats posed by near-term adversaries. I strongly support Secretary Gates' decision to end the F-22 production line at 187 aircraft and his commitment and the President's commitment to building a fifth-generation tactical fighter capability by focusing on the timely delivery of the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter to the Air Force, Navy, and Marines. And I look forward to lively debates on these and other important issues of the next few days. Now, I want to make very clear to my colleagues The reason why Senator Levin and I supported the administration and Secretary Gates' proposal to terminate at 187 the F-22 fighter aircraft is not because we believe we're going to leave the nation undefended. We need the next generation F-35 Joint Strike Fighter. Our armed services are counting on them. We want to increase funding for the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, an aircraft and weapon system that, in the view of many experts, including my view, would be far more capable of meeting the emerging threats of the future. So this debate, my colleagues, I want to understand, is not just about cutting a weapon system or bringing to an end, frankly, the line of a fighter aircraft. It's bringing to the end the line of one fighter aircraft and moving forward with another generation. For all three services, a very capable weapon system, one that meets the threats of the 21st century. So I think it's important that we look at the argument that will come forward about jobs created or jobs lost. There will be jobs created, but defense weapon systems, the rationale for them should never be the creation of jobs. It should only be about the best way to defend this nation in a very dangerous world. So it's my understanding, it is the wish of the chairman, and I join him, that the first amendment for debate will be the administration proposal to finish the F-22 aircraft production line, saving some $1.75 billion. So I look forward to that debate. I look forward to my colleagues coming to the floor that would oppose that amendment. And I hope that my colleagues understand that we'd like to get this done this week, if possible. One more comment about the F-22 and the alternate engine for the Joint Strike Fighter. The President of the United States, I am told, and the Secretary of Defense have made it very clear that a veto is very likely if the Congress does not act to end production of the F-22 line. I would strongly recommend that the President of the United States go ahead and veto this bill if the F-22 is included. At some point, with unemployment at 9.5%, with people not being able to stay in their jobs, with health care being less available and less affordable in America, we cannot afford to spend $1.7 billion additional fund of taxpayers' dollars for a system that can be replaced by a more capable weapon system and one that can defend our nation with greater efficiency and less cost. So I believe, frankly, that there's more at stake here than just whether we adopt the Levin McCain amendment to terminate production of the F-22 as originally scheduled. I think this is a much larger issue, and I hope that my colleagues understand the importance of it, and I hope that if the Levin McCain amendment is defeated, which I hope it is not, because I believe that Senator Levin and I can make a convincing argument on behalf of the administration and Secretary of Defense, but if it is, that there be no doubt that the President of the United States would veto this bill. And I say that with great reluctance. I say it with almost a sense of deep regret, because there's so many things in this bill that are important to the defense of our nation, whether it be the care and pay raises and hospitalization and care of our wounded warriors, along with many other issues. But at some point, this Congress and this nation has got to exercise the fiscal discipline that the economic crisis we're in today demands. Mr. President, I again want to thank Senator Levin for the long and close relationship and work we've done together. And sometimes we've had very spirited but very informative discussions, and I know those will continue as we address this very important legislation before the Senate. Mr. President, I yield the floor. Absence of a quorum.
Clerk will call the roll. Mr. Akaka.